Joining me now are three legal experts: former U.S. Attorney Joe diGenova, former federal prosecutor David Katz, and criminal defense attorney Jonah Spilborn. Thank you all for being here. Joe, I want to start with you. Your reaction to Chief Justice Roberts scolding the president and insisting that there are no partisan judges, Joe.
Well, I think the Chief Justice's comments were blatantly inappropriate. He injected himself into a political discussion about the effect of the court. He never should have done that, particularly after the debacle of the Kavanaugh hearing, where everyone was trying to do its best after that to remove the Supreme Court from the political arena. And the Chief Justice arrogantly, and I underscore arrogantly, stepped into it. It was a major mistake by the Chief Justice. And of course, you notice he's been quiet now because he realizes that he did make a terrible mistake. Whatever he may have thought of the president's remarks, it's not his responsibility to rebuke the president of the United States, which is exactly what he was doing. And after sitting there in January of 2010 and listening to President Obama rebuke him and the rest of the Supreme Court for their decision in Citizens United, when he said absolutely nothing to defend the integrity and independence of the court, for him to get involved in this was absolutely abysmal judgment.
Joe, I want to show people that moment. You referenced it, Senator Grassley as well. I want to take everybody back. This is 2010, when then President Obama publicly called out the Supreme Court's Citizens United ruling and wrongly stated a few facts. Watch.
With all due deference to separation of powers, last week the Supreme Court reversed a century of law that I believe will open the floodgates for special interests, including foreign corporations, to spend without limit in our elections.
Alito was sitting there going, no, 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 mouthing no. Why do you think he said nothing then, Joe diGenova, and he's speaking out now? Why this moment?
It was very, very simple. President Obama was a Democrat, and President Trump is a Republican. John Roberts' judgment in this is so abysmal, so bad, so apparently political in its motivation, so opportunistic. It really is appalling. I'm embarrassed for the court. I feel very sorry for the other members of the court. And I really think the Chief Justice has made a major mistake with regard to talk about he himself now has undercut the independence of the court by becoming involved in a political discussion. It's a very sad day for the court.
Thank you, Joe. John, I want your reaction. Do you agree with Joe diGenova? Do you think that this is raising the political temperature rather than lowering it?
100%. And I want to know, first of all, the Chief Justice is talking out of school, because, yes, we do have Obama judges and Clinton judges and Trump judges. But where was the Chief Justice when Ruth Bader Ginsburg was calling the president a fake, a phony, and openly criticizing him? Where was the rhetoric then? It did not exist.
David, your thoughts?
Well, Chief Justice Roberts is one of the most admired public servants in America, and that's regardless of party. Someone had to come to the defense of the judiciary. We have an independent judiciary, which is the crown jewel of our rule of law and our system in this country.
This is not the first time a president has called out the Supreme Court. Jefferson, Madison were upset with their appointees. FDR was going to pack the courts. What's different this time? With the president disagreeing with the justices? I guess the justice is speaking back.
Well, I guess President Lincoln actually increased the court to 10. They don't call that court packing, but President Lincoln increased the Supreme Court to 10. So it's come and it's gone. But I think the important thing to remember here is that that judge in San Francisco cannot speak up for himself or his decisions. Someone had to speak up for the third branch of government, the independent judiciary. And that's what Chief Justice Roberts did. He did it very well, and he wasn't arrogant at all.
John, I want to put something up on the screen. Chuck Schumer came out today with a tweet. He's supporting, surprise, surprise, he's supporting John Roberts. He writes, I don't agree very often with Chief Justice Roberts, especially his partisan decisions, which seem highly political on Citizens United, Janice and Shelby, but I am thankful today that he almost alone among Republicans stood up to President Trump for an independent judiciary. Is that what his role is? To stand up to the president?
No, absolutely not. And if we're going to have an independent judiciary, if we're going to be one big, happy, non-political family, then the Chief Justice should not have said a word. He almost contradicted himself by the fact that he said what he said.
David, you really don't think we have activist judges anywhere?
You know, I'm a defense attorney now. I go into court.
You worked for the Reagan administration.
Right.
You don't think there are any activist judges? Look, just the other day, I pulled this. Judge Carlton Reeves struck down the 15-day abortion ban in Mississippi. He overruled the entire legislature there, the entire state's will, and he said men were all involved in this. Well, who created Roe v. Wade? 9 guys, right?
We have an appeals system in this country. If you don't like the district court or the trial court's decision, you go to the Court of Appeals. You know what else? This decision wasn't even from the Ninth Circuit. It was from a district court judge. It hasn't even been to the Ninth Circuit. The Ninth Circuit can be a very mixed bag. Not all the decisions are the cookie cutter
Should it be broken
type.
up? Trump wants to break it up,
No, it
Jonah.
should not be.
I think it would be a great idea because this is travel ban deja vu all over again. Trump is going to succeed when this goes on up.
Very good.
Since
What a
the
panel. Thank you both for being here, and thank you, Joe DeGeneva, for your insights.